Now joined by today's third-place finisher, Christopher Bell, driver of the JBL Toyota for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Now, Christopher, you had a great truck today. Some contact there late. Could you walk us through that incident from your perspective?
Well, we were in really heavy lap traffic, and obviously both the GMS trucks were really fast. But I felt like our truck was able to maintain, and we were strong enough that we were going to be able to hold on there. And getting through lap traffic, got to the 19, and got into the back of him in 3 and 4, and then he got all the way up the racetrack off of 4 all the way to the wall. So at that point, I had went down to try and get underneath of him, getting into 1, and he decided he was going to go down with me.
Okay. We are also joined here by KBM teammate Noah Gagson, today's highest finishing Sunoco Rookie of the Year contender, finishing in 4th place. And Noah, you had quite an adventurous run out there yourself, recovering from an earlier incident to finish in 4th. Walk us through how you were able to accomplish that, please.
Yeah, I'm just very thankful to have a Toyota Tundra that can make my way up through the field and everything. We started in that 9th position and then started working our way up, and then the 29 cleaned us out down in turn 1. So just unfortunate, but my crew chief, Marcus Richmond, he made some really good calls on the top of the pit box. I kept reminding him it's not over yet. We still have a battle to fight, and started working our way back up. My crew guys and my pit crew guys, they did a real good job over the wall. So we had a fast Toyota Tundra today, and just had a lot of fun.
Okay, we will open the floor for questions. We'll start with Hank and then go to Jacob.
Christopher, how sinking is the feeling when you start to slide and you realize you've created an opening and see those guys going by?
Oh, it's miserable to know that you're leading the race, and I was having to run really hard to keep those guys behind us, so it was a pretty stressful last stage there with the 23 being a little bit better than I was. But up until that point, we'd held them off, and obviously it's going to get a little bit tougher the later you get in the race, but I felt like our chances were really good, and then to be able to come up short that way, getting tangled up with a lap car, was disheartening.
Okay, next we're going to go to Jacob here, then we'll go upstairs to the press box, and then we'll go all the way back here to Caleb.
Jacob Seelman, Performance Motorsports Network. I've got one for both of you. First to Christopher. You had the win at Atlanta, so I know that's some sense of security, but does it really take any of the sting away, knowing how good your truck was late in the race, that you've got the win and you're already locked in, going for another one and having it end like that?
Not right now. It still hurts pretty bad, but maybe whenever we get to Kansas, it'll go away. But you don't get opportunities to win races very much. There's only 23 of them on the truck schedule, and so whenever you have opportunities in front of you to be leading the race at Martinsville with less than 20 to go and to give it away was really frustrating, and I'm pretty upset with myself. So it's going to take a little bit to get over this one, but we'll be fresh at Kansas.
And Noah, as far as your race goes, for your first time here, I know you said you had a good truck, but the mental soundness that you had to have when you were up there right in the middle of the lead battle and holding Johnny off for as long as you did, to drive, I'll say, like a veteran in those final laps, I mean, where did that come from, never really having seen this place before today?
Yeah, this half-mile flat track stuff, it's right up in my wheelhouse. This is what I've been doing the last 2 years in the K&N Series. Ran the K&N West and E Series last year, so we've been going to tracks like this for a while. On the restarts, I got a couple lucky breaks on the outside, and before I came to this place, everyone said you got to be right on the bottom, and that's true once I get all strung out. But I was making the outside work on the restarts, started passing 2 or 3 guys a restart on the outside, and was really making it work. And it wouldn't be possible without my team. My team, they're the reason why we had such a good Toyota Tundra today. I was just really happy talking to my crew chief. He really taught me a lot coming to this racetrack, and to be racing with Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott in the Cup Series, Johnny Sauter, who's the past champion, man, that's really cool for a rookie like me. So just very thankful for the opportunity. Yeah, he was on the radio a little bit throughout the race. I was overdriving my entries a little bit, running with with Chase Elliott right on his bumper when Christopher's leading, and then he started talking to me a little bit on there and really helped me with my braking patterns and really trying to be smooth with my feet work. So Kyle was a really big help today. I don't think I would have finished fourth without him being on the radio talking to me.
Okay, we're going to head upstairs to the press box.
SpencerMotorsport.com. I have a question for Christopher. Having been a rookie yourself last season, what's etiquette for somebody when you're trying to hold on to the lead lap and the leader's coming and you know, they're obviously in your line? I mean, if you were to talk to the rookies at the rookie meeting, what advice would you have for Austin Cindric?
Well, I don't know if I'd have any advice for him right now, but you know, it's 20 laps to go in the race. You're going a lap down. Like, it's just, if it's not your day, it's not your day. I mean, for the most part, everybody's been giving the leaders room. But you know, and I came from sprint car racing. In sprint car racing, we didn't have mirrors. You don't have spotters. You don't know what's coming behind you. So I don't expect him to just wave me by, but I do expect him to continue to run the line that he's been running. And the chicane down the front straightaway was not the line that he'd been running.
Any additional questions in the press box? Okay, we're going to come back downstairs. We'll go to Caleb, then to Chris, and then up to Jim Utter. Caleb?
Caleb Whistler, Speedway Digest. Noah, with this being your first time racing here at Martinsville, what was your expectations going in, and did those racing here meet those expectations?
Well, I knew I had to make it to the end. 250 laps is a long time for me, so, and all the drivers. So we saw at the beginning of the race there's a couple cautions, and I just knew I had to stay patient, and that's what I felt like I did coming into the race. We had a meeting a couple days ago at the shop over at Kyle Busch Motorsports, and with my crew chief, my engineer, and Brandon McReynolds. He's been a huge help for me. We've been watching a lot of film and just really trying to digest everything going on. My first time coming here. Everyone said it's pretty much flat, which it does feel flat, but looking in the corners, they have more banking than what people say they are. So it's just unique coming to this racetrack, never seen it before, so I had to adapt to it quite a bit. But I had a really good time today. Rolling the outside was pretty fun and racing with all these guys.
Okay, we're going to go next to Chris and then up to the front row to Jim and to Bob.
Chris9catchfans.com. For both of you guys, I was just curious, after 3 races, what do you guys think of stage racing, and how do you approach Kansas Speedway coming up next?
Stage racing is great. It's awesome because it gives us drivers a point to look forward to reward us for running well throughout the race. It breaks the races up to make them feel not so long. It's a win-win all around. I love stage racing, and thankful that NASCAR made the change to it. What was the second part? Kansas is kind of a typical mile and a half with unbelievable restarts. So with the way the dogleg is down the front straightaway and having the apron available to you just creates almost Talladega-ish style restarts because you're able to go 4 or 5 wide going into turn number 1, but guys on the apron, they got to get back up on the racetrack by the time you get to the corner. So it's I got my butt kicked by restarts there last year just because they are so wild and hectic. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing my homework on is to get better at restarts at Kansas.
Noah, your thoughts on stage racing?
Yeah, I like them. Coming from the K&N series, it's kind of what we do. On average, I'd say about 75% of the races, they're typically 150 laps long. So we get a halfway break in the K&N races that we get to look forward to. So it's kind of what I'm used to. Just getting better on pit road is my biggest issue. And there's more opportunity, I feel like, to be on pit road and Gruce with guys. So I like it. It's good for the fans, good for us drivers. We get to relax our fingers, take a breath of air, and get a drink of water. So I also agree that it's a win-win.
Okay, we're going to come up here to Jim.
Jim Utter, Motorsport.com. For Noah, I know it was only 2 races, but did you feel like you were getting down on yourself at all after the first 2 races of the season? And how much did the support that you got from Kyle and some others in the past couple of weeks help you get ready for this race?
Absolutely. reckon in the first 2 races, on the first couple laps, you definitely doubt yourself. You not sure if you're put out to race with these guys. Being a rookie, never racing with these guys before, so thankfully Martinsville Speedway, it's what I'm used to. But Kyle Busch, my crew chief Marcus Richmond, and then Brandon McReynolds, they've been really helping me build my confidence back up. I've been in the sim, I've been racing my late model in Vegas, so just trying to take my mind off the negative of the last couple of races and try and focus on what's coming up and prepare, be better, better than ever going into the next couple of races. Thankfully, we have another month off, which is, there's pros and cons to that. We get more time to prepare. I'm trying to finish up school in Las Vegas. That's where I still live, so I'm going back Monday to finish up my senior year of high school, and by the time I get to Kansas, I'll have my senior year done.
Go next to Bob.
I'm Bob Parker, CSPN. Christopher, do you feel like you made a mistake, or do you feel like you did what you kind of supposed to do, and circumstances just didn't go your way?
Well, I haven't got to see any film of it, so the only thing that's going through my head is what I remember. But I got into the back of him pretty hard in 3 and 4, and I'm sure Spotter was communicating that I was the leader. And I would have drove around him or tried to go around him if he wouldn't have gone to the wall down the front straightaway. But him going to the wall down the front straightaway was signaling to me that he was going to run his regular line. So then, I tried to go to the bottom, and then he decided to turn left at the flag stand. So I don't know if there's something I could have done differently. I think I had a little bit of a gap, if I remember right, so maybe I could have waited another corner. But I didn't expect him to do that. Looking back at it, I should have gave myself another corner, and maybe the results would have been different.
Any additional questions for these gentlemen? Guys, great show you put on out there today. Good luck in Kansas.